Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about how to do a reflection. Now there are four different types of reflections, but right now we'll only talk about the reflection over the x-axis and the y-axis. In another video, you'll see the reflection over y equals x and y equals negative x. But first, let's see. Usually in a typical math problem, they'll provide you 3 points and they won't even give you a graph. So hopefully you already know the steps. Step 1, in case you don't remember, is graph the pre-image. Graph the pre-image. Now the second step is convert the coordinates. And the third step is graph the image. Now it's very important to follow these steps, especially when you get to rotations, but it's always very, very important to follow these steps. Because sometimes you're not going to be able to visualize what the shape is going to look like after the reflection, but people try to graph it just by guessing what it's going to look like, when in reality, if you just trust the coordinates, then everything will be fine. Alright, let's see what happens. The first thing we want to do is we're going to graph the pre-image. So we have, let's do blue. We have 3, 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's right here. 3, 4, which is going to be A. And then we have 2, 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's here. That's going to be B. And then we have 1, 5. 1, 5. Which is here. And that's C. So you have A, B, C. And we'll color that in because that is a terrible drawing of a triangle. Anyway. So now what we want to do is, let's say that they asked you that to reflect something over the x-axis. Now, to reflect something over the x-axis, hopefully you know that you have to change the y's. If you don't, now you do. To reflect over the x-axis, you have to change the y's, which means you change the signs of all the coordinates of the y's. So let's see the original points that we have. 3, 4 now becomes A prime, which is 3, negative 4. You see the y number was 4, now we've changed it to negative 4 to reflect over the x-axis. Now B prime, if you change the y's, becomes 2, negative 6. And C prime becomes 1, negative 5. And in case you don't remember, the purpose of the primes is just to tell me that it has changed somehow. So you had an original set of coordinates, and then you have a new set of coordinates. It's like when you say you have like, Carlos Gomez and then Carlos Gomez Jr. It lets you know that they're part of the same family, but one of them is slightly different because one of them is the junior. So that's what the primes do. They say this is the copy, or this is the second version, or something like that. Okay. Now we graph these. We've already graphed the pre-image. We've then converted the coordinates, and now let's graph the image of this terrible looking triangle that I tried to graph. Alright, so now you have 3, negative 4, which is here. Here, and that's A prime. And then you have 2, negative 6, so 2, negative 6, which is going to be here. That's B prime. And then you have 1, negative 5, which is here. And that's C prime. We'll color that in to make it beautiful. Look at that. That is so amazing. You see, this is why I teach math, because I'm a terrible artist. Alright, now this is a reflection over the x-axis. Now if you wanted to reflect over the y-axis, of course, instead of changing the y's, you would just change the x's.